and I might add, by Muslims as well. We were created by the
Anunnaki. All right.
You got to do something about your size of your font.
Yeah, no, it's really getting too hard to read it.
Anunnaki. Okay.
Anunnaki. That's
you
good.
have to
Explain.
You have to enlighten us about the Anunnaki.
Don't know the word.
Islam means submission, and that means world domination. Well, how could it mean submission and then world domination at the same time?
They want submission from everybody else, I guess is what he means.
Well, I do know that when Islam conquers a country, the first thing they do, which is what they did in Israel, you know, right where the second temple is, they built the dome of the mosque, which is the holiest of all holies in the Muslim religion. And the only thing left from the temple is the Western Wall, which is where Jews go to pray.
Yeah.
You know.
We're still waiting
But
to hear.
Flycatcher, if you could illuminate us, and I don't mean that in a bad way, about the Anunnaki. You know, that'd be greatly appreciated here.
We're very open-minded about everything, and we want to...
Unless I have Felix do his thing and go onto Google and look it up, which is something that you can do.
Yeah. Okay, matter of fact, I guess that's where the next step is. We're waiting for you to tell us what you think it is.
Wikipedia.
But let's go and see if it's... see what it has to say about it.
Sensing a third cup of coffee. How about you?
Yeah, I think so. Are you going to join us for a cup of coffee? Yes.
Tell us your next tea.
Yeah, probably Muslims do mark the territory. But so do certain Christian people who believe certain Christianity. If you know a little bit about Vladimir Putin, he believes he's a religious man, and he believes it's his. He believes it's his right to conquer other lands and bring on his religion to those lands, which is Orthodox Christianity. So, I don't know. I gotta go back to my computer's acting up a little bit. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna try to see what you read. Flycatch, all right. You okay? You had your cocoa and you read the Quran. That's more than me. I will say I've never read it. So, right? No, you're the expert on that topic. I've never read it, so I can't say anything.
You're a male, so.
I don't say I'd like to have read it, but I haven't. Maybe I will look at it. Let's see. How long did it take you to read the Quran? Curious, because it's quite a book. You know, in the old days, when what do you call it? Moses came down with the Ten Commandments. He came down with another, I think, 563 more. I forgot what they call them. And they were quite brutal. You know, eye for an eye. A man steals, you cut off his hand. You know, this was all part of the. I'll ask. Well, I'm just telling. Just talking about. Let's see. He said. He said that Flycatcher already had his cocoa. He had, and he also said he read the Quran.
Okay.
You know, so he's familiar with the Quran, and so I said it's more than this because we've never read it. And he says it's quite frightening, the Quran, when you read it. We missed a few things. I want to welcome the other people who joined us in the chat room. If anybody wants to call in, we do take phone calls. It's 646-595-3275. We can talk and chat. My eyes are getting shot right now.
I believe it says it took him a year and a half to read the Quran. Is that what he's saying? On and off?
No,
well, it's not so. No, that was at the bottom.
I read the Quran, and it's not a pretty book.
No, go all the way to the bottom. Scroll all the way down. He says it took him a little over a year, on and off.
Well, that's what I asked him. It took him.
Well, that makes sense because really, to digest anything that you're not familiar with, you know, after you read a certain amount, you have to stop and think about what they're saying.
Well, he says he's not an expert, but I'm aware that it is a book of lies.
Well, you know, that of course is his opinion, and he is bright enough to know that anybody who reads anything will come away with their own opinion, okay? And that's fine, because it means that you're thinking. You know, people are not making blanket statements without understanding.
Well, I'm glad you read it, because, as I said...
You know, I almost hate to quote Michelle Bachmann here. Everybody remembers her from Minnesota. But Michelle Bachmann's first job when she became a lawyer, how she passed the bar is beyond me, but was with the IRS. And they asked her why she worked for the IRS, and she says, you have to know your enemy. Now, I don't understand why she considers the IRS or any governmental agency the enemy, but then again, that's Michelle Bachmann. But the analogy here is that at least Flycatch took the time to read the Quran.
Okay. He says, Flycatch, I'm an agnostic, plain and simple. Nothing wrong with that.
Oh, no. Not at all. In fact, I applaud him for being familiar with, I would assume, all three holy books, the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the Quran. Because in order for him to come to the conclusion that he's an agnostic, he has to base it on something. You know, one can simply look at history. You know, I have mentioned before, and I know Flycatch has listened to the show before, when we teach our children about man's inhumanity to man. The one thing that the human race does very well is wage war. Obviously, from the song that Felix played before, I Am a Warrior, well, from the beginning of time, man was a warrior. Cain slew Abel. You have all of the wars that the Hebrews were fighting in the Old Testament. When Joshua is told by God to go and conquer, I don't know if it's the Amalekites or whoever was living in Canaan at the time, you know, God said, and I quote, kill them all. women, children, everybody, servants. Don't let anybody live. You say to yourself, how could God say that? And the Old Testament is full of God doing terrible things to man in Genesis, man doing terrible things to man. In the New Testament, you get a lot of peace and love. And as I said, I have not read the Quran, so I don't know. But I do know that they don't have too many kind words for
non-believers.
Non-believers, exactly.
Yep.
We are infidels.
Yeah, we are.
According to the Quran.
I guess Flycatch is from our generation. He's a Vietnam vet.
Well, he certainly saw enough killing there.
That's it.
And you say to yourself, how could you believe in a God that causes something like that to happen? How could you believe in a God that allows a Holocaust?
Yeah. How long were you in Vietnam?
10 months is enough. That was the tour.
10 months?
10 months.
Really? One tour, that's it?
Unless you signed up for another one. They would try to get you by promoting you a grade, I remember.
Yeah.
But you know, it becomes a matter of like, how many times were our veterans sent back to Fallujah and Iraq and Afghanistan? I mean, you know, you go through 1 or 2 tours, you consider yourself lucky that you came back. And then you go through 3 and 4 tours, and what are the odds that something is going to happen to you?
Okay, he was 1 year, U.S. Air Force. What's up, y'all? Okay, that's from whoever. I'm on the... Okay, we got some other people trying to...
Somebody's trying to get on?
No, some people are talking. Then we got somebody calling. Yep. Let's go answer. Who's got... Good evening. You're on the air.
Hi, this is Tyree Sneed. How are y'all today?
Hey, how you doing?
Hi.
I'm from Texas, so excuse the y'all, but just how we talk.
If you could put up with our New York accent, I'll take the y'all anytime.
Cool. Yeah, no, I got no problem with that. It's refreshing. It's cool.
All right, you following the show a little bit?
Yeah, I just tune in right now. I like the topic. I have my own show on here. I don't want to promote it, but I'm on here as well. I talk about
because you know, if we can, we'll follow you. So, what's the name of your show?
Right now, it's blogtalkradio.com/Project Mayhem.
Okay.
And I talk about a lot of cultural issues. I'm going to do a show today on like black community issues. I sometimes try to focus on the black community because I feel like they're having a lot of major problems right now and kind of being targeted.
Well, I think we all should learn tolerance and learn how to live together because we do share this world, and we certainly want to leave it a lot better than we found it.
Yep.
Yeah, we're also got, we were pretty actively talking to Flycatch, who's a Vietnam vet. He's an agnostic.
Wow.
He said he's read the Quran. It took him a year, but reading slow and steady, he got through it. And he said it's not a very pretty book. Now, I've never read it, so I can't say. Okay? If you've read parts of it, feel free to comment. I mean, that's what this show's all about, probably just like your show. You know, you have something to say, go right ahead.
We started with just everything with France and everything that's going on, and, you know, and Obama or nobody else in the United States was there to represent our country and what happened in France. And it's a real shame what he did.
Well, I have to interject by saying I'm an Obama supporter, a big supporter. However, he has made mistakes that I just don't seem to understand.